And then one thing that really amazed me about Rachel was, well, by the way, just FYI, when we met, we would have been 16, 17. So it was
Wow.
a very, very long time ago.
Not that long.
Well,
Long.
when we say long time, we mean like
some time
15
ago.
years ago.
Hello, welcome to the Well of Wellbeing. My name is Gracia, and today I have a very special couple to me, and they are joining us all the way from London. I'm feeling very excited because I live in Glasgow, and all my family members who live in Africa are always asking me, how's London? Because everyone thinks that when you're in the UK, you live in London. But hey, guys, no, some of us actually live outside London, but these guys actually live in London. So, guys, how's London?
It's sunny today. It's very sunny. We're starting into spring, and we're starting to see lots of people outside going for walks, and it's just nice to have a change of season. So I would say it's sunny.
Yeah, it's nice, and yeah, people outside just now. It's quite the COVID, people are still taking precautions about being out there, but it's good to see that like we're beginning to come out of it, and folk are happy to just go back out again and enjoy themselves and so forth. But yeah, thanking God that we're able to do that again.
Yeah, we're seeing life again outside.
Amazing. That's the thing with spring, isn't it? We just feel hopeful, and there's a nail of freshness. But can I tell you guys, every time I go to London, I'm not joking, I feel like a villager, because I always feel like it's so big, and every time I would go and I would have one of my cousins and I would be all excited and wanting to smile and so on. She just say, stop that, Gracia, you're being weird. So anyway, tell us a little bit who you are.
I was going to say, like, to be honest, it's been like a village for all of us for the past 12 months. We've been like in little villages. So yeah, you're not being alone in that yourself.
Well, thank you, Gil. You're very kind. Now, you guys, tell me, just tell us your names and tell us what's going on around here. So we know that we are doing relational well-being. So, who are you and everything about yourselves?
Yeah, so my name is Rachel. I'm Gil's wife, and we're in London, as we said, and I'm a solicitor, and also we're pastoring the church here in London as well. So lots of things going on, but we're loving life at the minute.
Yeah, I would say the same as well. And I work for a market research company. We do lots of different types of work for the government, and also we look after the church here, and it's just an honor to do that. And the people that we're around, the people that we work with, and the people that we look after as well. It's just an amazing honor to be doing this. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Guys, you are in a busy city, and it just sounds as if you are a young, vibrant, but also busy couple, because you're doing a few things. You've got yourselves to look after, and then other people to look after as well. And so I'm being well known for being super nosy. So I'm just going to, as I see you, I'm just like, wow, how did these guys meet? How did it all start? So should we go to that, if you're okay with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you meet? How did this beautiful story start?
Yeah, I'll let you answer, because Gil, he's got a better recollection of our very first meeting than I do.
Yeah. Well, I think you do remember that as well.
Bits
a
and
little
pieces.
bit. So
maybe, can I just say, you guys are the fourth couple, and I'm finding that the guys are actually remembering vividly much better than the ladies. So
Wow.
yeah, Rachel does remember it. She just doesn't remember the full picture. I remember like the most of it, and she remembers bits of it. So, yeah.
Okay, Gil, tell us, how did it
Okay, so I met Rachel through her cousin, Sinead. So I still remember this story vividly. It was in George Square, Glasgow, and I was with my friend, and I was about to cross the road, and Rachel and her cousin, they were on the other side of the road. So we were literally at the corner of one of the corners um, of Josh Grant. I don't know exactly which one it is, but we were about to cross the road, and my friend actually knew Sinead and knew Rachel's cousin Sinead, so we both crossed the road, and then we said hello. And then one thing that really amazed me about Rachel was, well, by the way, just FYI, when we met, we would have been 16, 17. So it was
Wow.
a very, very long time ago.
Not that long.
Well,
That
when
long.
we say
Not that old.
when we say long time, we mean like
Some time ago. Some time
15 years
ago.
ago.
Give away our age.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep going.
Anyway, so where was I?
So you
So,
were telling us age.
you're
Oh
saying
yeah, that's right. So yeah,
the road.
so we would have been just like in our late teens, let's just say that. And I think I felt quite challenged when I met Rachel because she was very, she was like asking, she was looked at me up and down. It was like, who is this guy? Thinking, all confident and everything. So that really like took me aback and was like, why is she like saying all of that? But it was quite. I thought she was very, unique and very attractive as well. Despite the fact that at the time, you know, I didn't know who this person was. I was like, what's going on? And I was just there with my friend, and my friend was meeting Rachel's cousin Sinead. And I think after that, we had quite a few other moments when we met each other at different points in our friendship journey, I would say. So what would you say?
Wow. That's
Yeah, it's like,
beautiful. That's
Mhm.
very that's
quite
that's
accurate.
so cool. Yeah. So Rachel, do you remember giving Jill the look and going like, okay? Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
I can imagine myself. I don't remember. I can imagine myself back then being quite sassy. And I remember what I do remember was just maybe trying to suss him out in the sense that he was a very difficult person to read. I was attracted to him as well, but I just wanted to maybe give him a little bit of a challenge and see how he would respond to my sassiness.
Right? Quite right.
Which obviously he did well because we're now married.
Well done, Jill. Well done for for not letting the kind of like the look and the challenge, and you took it on board. So that's great. And just in terms of your journey, when do you think you moved from just being acquaintances to actually making that decision that, okay, we are probably going to go a little bit further? Was it something which you discovered about each other, or did you get some other people helping you along that road, or was it a connection that you guys had? So what moved things from, okay, I'm attracted to that person, he's good looking, yeah, she's all right, to actually going there, actually,
Um,
this is my partner for life. I want this to move further.
well, one thing I would say about our friendship is that we've kind of like knew each other for some time before we kind of went out. So Rachel, I could say she was one of my best friends at the time, and we would spend a lot of time together and doing things together. And Rachel pretty much knew my life, and I knew Rachel and her family and so forth. And yeah, it was I think that's really what paved the way into us going any further with our relationship. And I found at least to have stability, and I felt comfortable, and I felt just relaxed, knowing Rachel and being friends with her and knowing her family as well. What
Wow.
would you say?
What about
Yeah,
you, Rachel?
yeah, I would say the same in that we had a long friendship, and we were able to relate to one another over the course of years, and also with family involved and in different contexts, at university, doing at church together as well, serving, doing volunteering jobs with helping out with the youth. and also, doing a college course of the same year. So we had kind of a journey of getting to know one another in different contexts with different people. And I think we just found a peace with one another. We found a trust with one another. And we found that, I guess, as we were talking, we felt very much the same kind of things, dreams in our hearts, things that we wanted to do with our lives. So we found that actually, it would be a good idea for us to come together and do those things together and pursue, those things together. So we also did have, people in our lives as well, our pastors who we spoke to, and said, this is what we're thinking about. What do you think? And, they were on board as well. So we had sounding boards as well, just to help make sure that we were being safe and making a good decision. And, we were all at peace, which we were.
Wow. This is amazing. So guys, I'll tell you something. I've made friends with a amazingly sweet old lady. She's actually 86. I can't say her name just for her own, kind of like confidentiality. But we're actually becoming really good friends. And she was just telling me, in that kind of like wise way that older people will be saying that, do you know, deciding to get married is a serious decision. So I really, really like that you looked at a few different things. So you felt that you're trusting each other. You felt that actually you had the same dream. You're looking for the same thing in life. You had connections, but also you had sounding boards. And I think quite a few people hearing this will be encouraged. So if you had 5 words for describing your relationship, or your couple as a couple, what words would you use? 5.
Yeah, so first word is friendship, because that was really the foundation of our relationship. We became friends first, and we're still friends, and we're still best of friends. And so I think that has kept us throughout the relationship. So I'd say number 1 is just our friendship. What would you say?
Commitment as well. I think there's always been that commitment onto one another in terms of trust, in terms of family, and in terms of our friendships as well. The people that Rachel knew, and the people that I knew, and the people that we knew in the church as well. And we're kind of like committed in terms of where God was taking us, in the sense of our dreams and our passions for life, and we felt quite comfortable that way.
Yeah. And word number 3 is covered. And in the word covering for us just means in the sense of having, people that we can turn to, people that we can go to for help when we get stuck, people that we can go to and trust, their advice will be good and helpful for our marriage, and not advice that would maybe cause a problem or a bigger problem in our marriage. So we find very much that one thing that has really strengthened us is just having covering, having sound, wise people that we can go to for help and support.
Amazing.
And then the next one is I think we complement one another. We're very different, and although we're very, I would say we're deep into thought, and Rachel is quite inward thinking as well in that way. But at the same time, we're very different as well. So I think my qualities and Rachel's qualities are different, and I think that's a good thing, because we kind of like complement one another in that way. And I think that's something that you like as well, right?
Yeah, we're very similar, but we do have different perspectives. And again, I think it gives us a good balance, that we're not just thinking one side, but because there's 2 different perspectives, when we bring it together, it brings a fuller picture. So actually it's good. It's good that we're not, identical, the same, exactly the same.
Yeah, final one. I would say that I quite enjoy our marriage. So there's a bit of excitement, there's a bit of adventure in what we do. I think we're quite adventurous, and we like to go after new things. We want to see, conquer new things, see new things in our lives, and do new things with new people. And so there's that bit of excitement and adventure in our marriage as well, which I think the 2 of us like it.
Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, so can I just tell you what you've just said? So friendship, commitment, covering, so having other people in your marriage, and then encouraging you, and that's so key in terms of relational well-being, isn't it? And then complementary and adventurous. I wanted to ask you guys something. Do you have a way of calling each other which is a little bit unusual? How do you call each other?
Babe, that's what we would call each other.
We've gone through different names. You've had different nicknames for me, but I think we've just settled with Babe. Simple, short, sweet.
Oh, that's cool. I thought that maybe you call each other like pal or...
No.
Well, sometimes if I'm joking, I'll call him pal.
Yeah. I think it would be a bit too formal, but yeah.
If we're joking about it, I'll maybe call you pal.
Yeah.
Babe is the standard.
Wow. Okay, cool. So I wondered, just in terms of so you met, you had this beautiful friendship, you decided that you were moving on to being together and got married. I guess my next question is, how life sometimes can actually get a little bit challenging. So, when one of you is feeling down or just not like themselves, how do you encourage each other? First of all, how can you tell? I'll go to Gil. How can you tell that Rachel is having a bit of a hard time? She's a busy young lady. She's got work. She's got people to look after outside. She's got life. She's got friends, family. And when things are really difficult for her, how can you tell that she's actually struggling?
I think is to do with our communication. So we always realize that when things are not going well, there's been a breakdown in our communication somewhere. So we're getting better recognizing those points and working those things through. And it's just trying to resolve those things by understanding one another. And it does take times and times to have those conversations and to explain and to cover, but it's an exercise worth doing, I would say. So in terms of listening, and again, one thing I'm learning more and more is that we communicate differently. So the way I say something might be completely different to the way Rachel says something and the way she understands it as well. Because sometimes we think we just say something and the other person has understood, but that is so not the case. So then we have to go back and go over it and look into it and so forth.
Yeah. And so is there anything that you do which will just bring back the spark in her? So what type of a person is she? You know how some people love their presence, some people just want you to be there, some people want just do something, cook or just go to the shops and things like that. And so each one of us will have different styles and way of being and being appreciated. What do you think is Rachel's? And we'll see if Rachel agrees with you.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
so,
not a test. You can.
I think number one is Rachel likes me to listen to her. I think she really appreciates that more than anything else. When she's understood, when she's listened to, when she's able to communicate with me, even like simple things, even if it's not an issue and she just wants to communicate with me, and she likes me to actually take the time to listen to what she's got to say and make sure that she's feeling understood. And then I think the second one would be like she likes to be treated as well in terms of small treats and gifts. And I think I'm getting better at those things, or thinking of that in advance and so forth. But in itself is work that you have to put into your marriage, but something worthwhile in the end. But yeah, that's what I would say. Those two key things. There are others as well, but those would be the two main ones, I would say.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, now your turn, Rachel. What are the things which will show you that actually Gil is struggling?
Yeah, I think Gil's very kind of honest and open, and I think similar to me. I think that when there's maybe like a communication or a miscommunication somewhere, I think that we've learned, to take note, and maybe to take time, just to go over, this is what I said, this is what I meant, or this is how I received it. And, just give it the attention, and then we can move on. And I find that once we've done that, we can just move forward. But I'd say in the sense of, in terms of how do I maybe encourage Gil, or how do I help him, I think it's similar in just taking that time, just quality time maybe, aside, whether it's we're going for a walk, or going to just talk about something, or even just talk about, things that interest Gil, maybe things that he's been reading, things that he's been hearing, and just talking and being friends in it and sharing that moment together. As well as I do like to, maybe sometimes a wee treat here and there. I don't think it's top of Gilles' priority, but I think for me, I like to be able to just surprise and just show him that I'm thinking, show him that I'm caring for him, show him that I'm mindful of him, even, when we're busy, maybe having a busy day. I just maybe that way like to communicate that I'm thinking, I love you, in that sense.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
That's really, really sweet. Do you know, guys, you know how life, you're together so that you can support each other, and just hearing how you actually do it is super special. I wondered, just being in the marriage, what's been something where you've gone that this is actually a conflict, and maybe included, sometimes it doesn't even include you, but this other people, and then what helped you resolve that?
I think what I would say for that would be having that pastoral support that Rachel was talking about. We're very conscious of being down here in London, so we're a family first and foremost in terms of the church, whether we're here in London or Glasgow, Edinburgh, wherever we are a family. So whatever we do, we always do life through that channel of friendship and family. So having key relationships in our lives have really helped us when we've got stuck and we need unstucking. And they've spoken into our lives. Sometimes it's not necessarily just what they've said, it's for the fact they were present and they were available and they spoke and we heard. And I think that really makes a difference in terms of having other people in your life that you can go to, having other friendships. But primarily is that those key relationships that you can go to and then just be with, I would say so.
Yeah. Can I just say, this is so key, and I keep hearing it in a few different settings. And how when people come together, there can be that sense of, oh, we are so good together. Things are just so nice and great together, and having that feeling of not really wanting other people to be involved and wanting it to be as just ourselves as possible. But what I'm hearing more and more is that life cannot be done just on our own, whether it's one person or two people who become one person as a couple. It just feels and sounds to me that the wise thing to do is to let a few trusted people to be part of that journey. Yeah, am I right to say that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think it's really helped us in moving forward, having other people, to their input, their advice, their perspective, or even just a listening ear. And even sometimes friends, they can just be a good buffer, just to share, how you're feeling, how things are going. And it just, it's really, really helped us, really blessed us. And I think it's key. I think it's key in keeping a strong, healthy relationship.
That's amazing. Okay, guys, I was just wondering, so far in your journey as a couple, as a married couple, what's been your greatest victory? What's been your greatest achievement? Something that you're looking at and you're just feeling that, yes, we've done it and we've done it together and we're proud of that.
What I would say today is, I think it's been a real blessing for us to, build our lives we've been seeing small victories, small victories. So in terms of, we came here to London to start a church from nothing essentially, and we've begun to see the church grow. And we came here without any sort of accommodation and jobs, and we've seen God provide. And now we're really looking into the future in the sense of building our lives step by step. And every time we plan towards the future, we plan together, we have a conversation, and we see God come through for us in those little things that we are planning. So I think the greatest achievement is really to see that up until this point of getting married, coming to London. Rachel as well, you had a big achievement in terms of completing your degree, and we studying, working, and looking after the church. God has always been faithful in it all. So I think that's what I would say in terms of biggest achievement. We're still achieving it in a way, in a sense, but we are beginning to see God come through in every single way, whether in our personal lives, whether financially, in our jobs, with other people. We are beginning to see fruit in our lives as a result of what we invest or have invested, and we just find that to be a huge blessing. What would you say?
Yeah, I would say probably from even our wedding day, we've been, seeing victory after victory, like Gilles was saying. And even for us, just our wedding in itself was a big victory moment for us, because we had, challenges in terms of, we decided when we got engaged that we just wanted to go for it. We didn't want to take years and years and years, to build up savings towards it. We just wanted to go for it. And we were so blessed, by support, people, helping us in that way, and just being there to celebrate with us in that moment. And that was a big victory for us. And since then, we've just had that attitude of, just going for it, and really, just taking step by step, like what Gilles was saying. And actually, moving to London in itself, it was a big victory for us, in that it was something we were desiring for some time. And everything just came together for us to be able to take that step. And like Gilles was saying, we had provision in that, I was able to, arrange for my job to move to London, as well as having, a flat for the first 6 months. And, since then, I've gone on to requalify in England and Wales as a solicitor. And Gilles has very much been, supporting me in that. He's very much had to carry the weight of that, because it's a big commitment in terms of time and energy and where our focus is. And so, yeah, we've been navigating through life, the different moments and seasons, the different challenges. But one thing that I really love is that we do things together. So when one makes a decision, we're in it together. So I really love that, and I'm glad, because I know that we can, keep building strong in that way.
Wow, that's really, really beautiful to hear. And can I just say that you guys are also very generous. So from me and from the whole team here, I just want to say thank you, that despite all the things that you have on your plate, you've given us your time this afternoon. But even just in general, you're just so very welcoming. All the good things that you're describing, how people have been so good to you, I think it's also in response of the type of people that you are as well. So I just wanted to thank you for this time that we spent together, but also for everything that you do and all the things that you're doing in other people's lives, but also just wishing you the very, very best, because as you're saying, it's step by step, but those steps are leading you to greater and greater things. Yeah. So just thank you so much, Jill. Thank you so much, Rachel. It's been a pleasure having you today.
Thank you, Gracia.
Thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much.